Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koobalings, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. Banjo Tooie arrives on NSO. Finally, some more rare love on the Switch. We'll talk about it. I'm here with Donnie. How are you today, Donnie?
What's up? Greetings, Koobalings. Chat. Let me know how I sound. Am I like super loud? All of my stuff was like reset this morning. Speaking of reset, brand new webcam.
Oh, you look crisp.
Remember last week my webcam went out? It did the same thing on PSVG.
Uh-oh.
So brand new webcam. This is some Chinese something I don't even know how to say it. The Xeon Kaitan whatever. So
well, it looks good actually. I think
there we go.
Yeah.
Try that out. There you go,
Okay.
Beanbox.
All right. So you found out it was a webcam issue, not anything with
I actually don't think it is. I think it was I have like a powered USB dock that's connected to my computer, and I unplugged it from there and plugged it directly into my computer. Now we weren't live, but I ran it just in Streamlabs for like an hour, and I didn't have a problem with it. But I had already bought the camera because I just bought it live on PSVG, so I was like, "We'll just."
Because you were so frustrated, it was like, "I'm done with this.
Exactly.
I need a solution."
I mean, so the Logitech camera that I've literally had since I started this. It's been like I've had that thing since like 2014.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's
time.
just and then the new one that I got, the cheap one, it was like $20. It's like I didn't spend a whole lot on it. I was like, I'll just, we'll try it.
Hey,
so I think it was the USB thing, if I had to guess, but who cares? New camera. We'll see. If it goes out again, then it's more than that.
2014, that had a lot of use.
It did. Well,
I never had a webcam last that long.
Well, throughout then, like I tried all the other ones. Like I got the Razer Keo and the Face Cam. Like I tried all the streaming things between, but either I didn't like the software or I didn't like it didn't work or whatever. And I would always just put my Logitech backup. It was like my backup that I would just always use. So it's been a long time.
Yeah. Josh has got me on the Elgato Face Cam.
Yeah.
An Elgato partner.
That's a good one. I just didn't like all the, it was really, honestly, it was really the Razer. The Razer really.
The Razer, I remember you were like so into that, and I bought it, and then we both had problems with it.
Delve into like apps, and Dev has it, and he loves it, and tries to say it's all us problem. That software is the worst software under the sun. It screwed my whole computer up. It was the whole problem.
It never worked right ever. All right. So what have you been playing this week? How's your week been?
It's been well. Okay, so on PSVG, I told the story a long time ago where I've got this next door neighbor, this very old man, who's like into construction. He still works. I had like these, I had like some water running down the side of my chimney, and it's like the siding was like getting bad, and like some of the wood on the deck was getting bad, and I asked this company to come give me a quote on fixing it, and it was like $2,000. I was like, that's crazy.
What?
So I just asked my neighbor, I was like, hey, what would you quote me on this? Not asking him to do it because he's very old.
What would be a fair price?
Right. Yeah. I was like, what is this crazy? And he was like, I'll do it. He's like, actually, if you can help me. And to make a long story short, he has like this printer that he doesn't know how to use. He's like, I bought it. And they told him like it would work with his phone and like he could never make it work. And it's so funny. It's the exact same printer that I have.
Wow.
And having known the printer, I was like, yeah, you're never going to be able to make this work because the printer has like 5 different drivers you have to install and they update all the time. And like, you need a computer. He didn't have a computer. He's never going to make it work
for him to use.
So I pulled one of my old Chromebooks. I made him a Google profile. I set it all up and everything. And I went to Best Buy and I bought him a printer cable. And then I went over to his house and I was like, all right, this is your computer. This is your pen code. I made it very easy. I wrote it on the bottom of it. I was like, when you want to print something, because he prints invoices for his business. And like he's been going to like the UPS store and paying them to print his invoices so he can put them in the mail and send them to people.
Yeah.
So I was like, when you want to print, like just take this cable and plug it in, open up your email and hit print. And you would have thought I'd shown him how to do like how to make fire. So he's gonna come over. He was gonna come over and pop off these pieces of siding and replace them with the deck boards. Only to find out that the water wasn't just running down the front of it; it was running behind it all, like it was getting into the chimney behind. So,
Oh.
again, long story short, he has literally ripped the chimney, like the whole thing has come out
Where was it coming from?
from the roof. The roof was like running up against
Oh.
behind it and like running down. So, like where the chimney is, like the floor was rotten, the wall was rotten. We're literally removing walls.
Oh my
He's putting up
God.
new support beams. Yeah, he's out there working now. I have Jack out there doing it too. Like I'm like, you do whatever he says. Like you just, and I told him I was like, I'll do your chores. I'm gonna do the kitchen stuff because I'm not getting out there. I'm tired. I'm not doing all that. I was like, but you are. You're young. You need it. Like this is good for you. So he's got Jack going up and under the porch, and he's in the dirt, and he's holding everything. He's climbing on the roof. He's doing all the legwork, you know. And to my surprise and somewhat proud, Jack's actually really enjoying it. He really is. He's not whining or bitching about anything. Like he's like, I'd much rather do this than the dishes. And I was like, okay, all right, good for you. So
Okay.
they're out there knocking it out.
Oh.
So my it's been a full week of work, and then when I've not been working, it's been coming home and getting briefings from Jack and the old man about what's going on with the porch. And they're ripping like what was going to be, we're going to place like 3 deck boards turned into like 20. So like everything is just like getting further and further more than we expected it to. So
maybe I don't want to own a home.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to have to deal with this. You know, if it's not that, it's something else.
And it's not free by any means. If anybody else is thinking like I'm paying for all of this, it just won't be what the other guys are charging me. I think in the end it's probably going to be about $1,500. So.
Well, you know, the other guy quoted you 2,000, but didn't know there was all
and
that other stuff. It was going to be a lot more than that. If the other guy was
doing it, it would have been like 4,000 or 5,000 for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's on the life front. On the game front, I beat Zelda. So Zelda's been completed. I've played Mario Party. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah. Well, wait. Before we talk about Mario Party, tell me your final thoughts on Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, they haven't changed. This is my favorite 2D Zelda game. Not my favorite Zelda game of all time, but it is my favorite 2D Zelda game. And, you know, for me, that's like I don't want to say a low bar because I definitely love Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, but I don't think of those games like I think the majority of people think about those games. You know, like it's not special to me. It's not Ocarina, you know, It's not Wind Waker, and it's not Breath of the Wild.
It's greater.
Yeah. But I've never been 2D Zelda person either. Like it's never been my favorite. And I think that just comes from having played and adopted like Ocarina first, right? If I had done the other ones, maybe I would have more love there. But for me, Zelda is Ocarina, it's Wind Waker, it's Breath of the Wild. Like that's what Zelda is. So 2D's always kind of felt like this is fun. Like this is like a side, like a spin-off, like a side thing we'll do for a little bit.
Don't say that. You are breaking my heart.
I am just being honest. That's how I've always said it. I'm 3D Zelda, 2D Mario.
I mean, I know
like
that.
I love my Mario side scrolling. So
I think we're the opposite.
Yeah, I don't want to say I generally think that most people are the opposite, but I think there's probably more people that way. I think it's probably pretty close. Probably like a 60-40, 45-55 thing there.
Maybe.
But I finished the game. I didn't really care for the antagonist of the game a whole lot. But at the end of they really didn't do a whole lot with them throughout the game either. So
yeah, I kind of felt that way too. Whatever. I liked the design and the concept and the idea, like the story of him. I was into that part of it. I just wasn't really into the final fight of it. It felt
Happy
like
anniversary, Mario.
Okay, stop, because no, stop. Delete that. Don't say it. Cut it.
So good.
I was expecting it to be a little harder or, be a little bit more something than it was.
for it being my favorite Zelda and all the things that I've said nice about it, I did realize I don't think I've really ever given it any constructive criticism for it. And as much as I really like the ecosystem, and I do, and I'd like to see it, like I mentioned, attributed to other games, there's an engine here that I would love to make a Pokemon game with and see what that looks like. It really
I I feel like it is one of the best Pokemon games on the
kind of,
Switch.
yeah. That's like that's a part of like, yeah, that's really exactly how I feel about it. I want the AI to be better. like like that is a part of it. Like the
Mhm.
echoes are dumb. Like they're dumb. Sometimes they don't see targeting. Sometimes they don't go to target. They just wander around. Like you have to put them in front of things.
Yeah.
And then I will say the aiming of try, like if you're not Z targeting and you think you've got it and you're like,
Oh,
that
thank
is just kind
God
of
for the
all
Z
over the,
targeting. If there was no Z
yeah,
targeting, it would have been
it'd be
impossible.
a mess. Yeah. And like that really shows up in that final boss fight a lot. Because you
Mhm.
think you're in close quarters, you're like, I'm right in front of it, X, and it just goes right by. You're like, what the hell are you doing?
Even the Z targeting, I think, could be a little improved because sometimes,
Yeah,
like I am accidentally Z targeting onto the echoes that I created instead of the enemy that I want to attack. And it's like,
yeah. That
oh,
that was uh definitely showed up towards the end, and that was maybe like the definitely my biggest gripe with the actual controls or mechanics of the game was just that. But
yeah.
again, I left a review on Best Buy because like if you do it, you get entered into win a gift card. I don't think
Oh,
anybody ever actually wins.
no, I didn't know that.
And I said the same things. It's my favorite 2D Zelda game. I was like, I don't think many people will agree with that opinion, and that's okay. They don't have to. But it's like they literally sat down and they're like, all right, we're gonna make Breath of the Wild, but it's gonna be 2D. And honestly, you kind of have me at that pitch alone. Like that's probably all it took to make Donnie's favorite 2D Zelda game. We're like, we're gonna make Breath of the Wild, but in 2D.
I think
And
they should have sold that a little bit more with how much Breath of
yeah,
the Wild was,
yeah,
a phenomenon.
yeah. And then, like the crazy thing, all right, it's not crazy. I was probably saving this for like our end of the year recap. I felt a little cliche, predictable. I don't know what the right word is, but like when I started playing this game and really started to dig it, I'm like, is this going to be my game of the year? Like, isn't that like so easy? Like, isn't that like everybody's gonna be like, of course it is, Donnie? Like, I was like, I kind of don't like that, but at the same time, like, I wanted to just like stay true to that feeling. It's like, but it is though, like, it is doing that, and I don't know what it is, why I have like that inner conflict with it. I think it's how the game was like pitched to us. Like at no point was I expecting this to be one of my favorite Zelda
2D
games.
Zelda
To be
games,
honest with you, I
yeah.
was like, this is like Triforce Heroes or something. Like I'm gonna play it, but like, like it's not it. It's not the thing, but it
It
is
ended
the
up being
thing.
very special.
Yeah, it is the thing. And yeah, it is the Breath of the Wild stuff. You're right. Like they could have sold that game that way that maybe made it more appealing to other folks. But for me, that was it. Like when you can climb over the trees and climb over the walls and fly and all, I'm like, holy, like,
Come across
I don't
enemies
know.
that you can't defeat yet.
I don't know if people, when I mean people, analysts, reviewers and not that I've seen a lot of it, but in the little bit that I have seen covered of this game, I don't know if enough people are giving that maybe the merit and the weight that I think it deserves.
Mhm.
Try to make Link to the Past where you can climb over and fly and do everything. And the game kind of falls apart like really quickly.
Mhm.
If you're not gated off from the rest of the world, if you're not blocked from going, if they don't steer you in the right direction, you can't finish things appropriately and on time. They just did that with this game and they were like, yeah, you kind of go anywhere you want, do whatever you want. And I was like,
And it still worked.
and it
Like,
felt cohesive. Exactly. I was like, this is kind of awesome.
and I like that it still had a little bit of, direction. It was open, yet we had choice, yet there was an order.
Yeah.
With these two dungeons could be done in any order, then you have to do this. Then these three dungeons can be done in any order. So you had the liberty to explore the entire map. And
Mm-hmm.
I found the Farron Forest very early on, the wetlands.
I went there on purpose because I was looking for an item
Oh,
that I
okay.
saw on TikTok. And I was like, I want to get that. And here's the funny thing, I couldn't get it until after the turn. And it's like, so I had already like
Yeah.
opened that whole area up and everything.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
took some
that was
time.
another thing too, because you do have the ability to find some really good, powerful accessories and outfits and stuff early. Like you can get to that spot early on, but you can't
Yep.
get them early on, so it's not
Yep.
going to break the whole beginning of the game for
Again.
you. I love when the world kind of changes in that regard. Like the NPCs might have new things to say. Like it gives you also a reason to go back to some of those areas. Like before the end of the game, I found myself going back to the Gerudo Desert and the, Gerudo town because they had more things to offer me than the first time I was there.
Mhm.
I was able to do some side quests to get accessories. I was able to, find a couple more things, find some outfits and
That's the
whatnot.
complexity of the game's design. Like that's where like you start to wonder like how does it not all fall apart when you have like full freedom? And it's like, well, they have, it's like hidden design. Like it's there, but you don't really see, it's not invisible walls and things blocking your progress. It's like, you can go there, but the timing isn't right. You're here too early. I really like that. I like that a lot because it, to me, at least for me, and it's again, it's the Breath of the Wild thing, encourages discovery.
Well, even
What I
Breath of the
tell you,
Wild doesn't have that where like, something
Yeah.
happens in the game and then things change and you have a reason to go back.
Yep. So like for me, after I beat even the first dungeon, before the second dungeon, like just out of the tutorial, I just went walking around because I wanted to find things. I started to get bottles. I started
Me
to get
too.
stuff. Like that's my shit when it comes to a Zelda game. That's why I love Wind Waker. I don't love I do love Wind Waker. I love the story and everything, but the why I love Wind Waker is searching, just finding islands. What's here? Is there a cave? Is there a crypt? Like, what can I do? Like, and that's why I love Breath of the Wild. So when you look at my favorite Zeldas and how I lean towards the games that
The
are like giving
exploration
me
ones.
that, Ocarina, versus the ones that are very scripted. Those are my least favorites. Skyward Sword. Yeah. So honestly, when I sit back and look at it, as much as I didn't expect it when we started, when we were first shown the game, it's kind of not surprising at all that this is my favorite 2D Zelda game. It does so many things of the things that I want from a Zelda game.
That makes sense. And it's not necessarily the linearity versus openness of it, because this does have a degree of linearity to it. It's choices, but it does have linearity, but it's still open.
It's open. It's exploration.
And I think that's like the best of both worlds kind of thing. It like isn't so open that, you don't know what to do next.
And I think that's why it's my favorite 2D Zelda game, because it's the best of both worlds. Like that's exactly what it is. It kind of gives you a little bit of everything. It's like, hey, do you love Ocarina, Link to the Past, and Breath of the Wild? What if we made like one game that like feels like all three of those games? Yeah, it's pretty great.
Which is kind of what Minish Cap did back in its day.
Now that one I just haven't finished, like that's the thing. I just haven't finished that one.
That's okay. That'll be another day, another conversation when you do. Donnie, did you play any Mario Party Jamboree this week?
I did. Yeah, I played a bunch of it last night and a little bit this morning.
Win any games yet?
I didn't play online. I tried to play with Jack. He wasn't all that interested last night. We ended up watching the new Dragon Ball show instead, and it's weird. But Dragon Ball Jamboree is okay. My first impression when I started the game, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like it's just a really good looking Mario game.
It is.
I don't know what's going on. But it looks significantly better than like their previous Mario games. Am I alone? Like, is anybody like I actually haven't really seen it or heard anybody's like it looks really, all the animations, all the cutscenes. I was like, it's really nice, like stellar production wise. And I played story mode. I played through the first 2 boards in the story mode.
I didn't do any of that.
And then I played a couple of the mini games. So this is like really like first impressions. I do think it looks great. I like the little overworld stuff. I think that's pretty fun. I do like story mode is like back. Superstars had like a single player mode, but it was like challenges and stuff, not like story mode, I think it's just good fun. Like it's a good thing to have in a Mario Party game, so it's not just so dependent on multiplayer. But with that, they have a selection of mini games that you need motion controls for. Right? They have some sort of motion dependency, and when you try to play them, you have to use a single Joy-Con. And that bums me out because I can't play on my Switch Lite or my Switch portably. And I figure like that's the whole point of having a mode like this. Now, when you enter that mode, it does ask you if you want to turn them off. It just limits the amount of games you can play. You just
Are
can't
there
play any of the
many
other ones.
single Joy-Con
I
games?
don't know. I haven't played it a whole lot to tell you how many. But here's the thing that makes me upset about that. The one game that I wanted to play was the golf game. It's gyro based. You just rotate the controller around.
Oh.
Why can't I do that with the Switch?
Yeah. With
I'm like,
the
why do
regular
I have
controller.
it tells you have to play with a single Joy-Con and you can't play it. I'm like, why? Why can't I play this without having to do the thing? It to get the full experience, it feels like you need to play it with a single Joy-Con.
Interesting.
I wanted to play the Koopathlon, and just didn't get to it. That's probably something I'll probably try today.
See,
Yesterday
I
was
haven't done any of that. I did not do any story mode. I probably will never do any of the story mode. I'll probably never touch that. I may touch online. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, like it's not essential, I don't think.
I have only been playing with like my friends online, teaming up with them. It's very fun. The boards are very good. I have enjoyed the mall one a lot.
How's the connection process? How's like the lobbying process? What's that like?
It's pretty simple. I was able to click online, and then you can either create a room or join a room. And I was able to click join a room, and my friend who was on my friends list was right there. So I just joined with them, and then they were in control to set it up. It's weird because a lot of the mini games work very perfectly with the connection, but there were other ones where the lag was it was impossible.
Ooh.
Where, you know, it was like going like 1 frame every 5 seconds kind of thing.
Interesting.
But like some of them worked super smoothly. So like I don't know what the difference is. It like kind of made it funny.
I was about to say, does that just add an element of chaos to Mario Party?
It did, but I would not want every single like if that happens like once a game, sure.
So the question is like, is it Nintendo's fault or is there just somebody in your party that has shitty internet?
I don't know. Well, I don't know because for the vast majority of the mini games, it worked perfectly. So I don't know if it's just like certain mini games require like a little bit more or something. But I don't know. But it did make it funny for sure. But I won the very first game that I played. I was the only one who didn't find a star the entire game. And then I just kept accumulating wealth the whole game. And then I won 2 bonus stars at the end, which was tied with the other people's bonus, or with the other people's amount of stars. So I ended up coming in first because I had the most money.
Nice.
It was great. 4th to 1st.
Nice. The story mode is I wouldn't call it essential by any means, but you walk around and people like need stuff. Like people drop like screws, or you need to like find a shell, or you need to deliver something from the shop. And as you walk around, like you'll find other like characters, and if you beat them at their mini game, they'll like join you. If like they'll go like, hey, if you ever need something, I'll be there. And then like when you do accumulate the most stars, you have like this boss fight battle. And then your friends show up. They're like, Mario and Donkey Kong's here, and then you all go out and do the boss fight together.
Yeah, I'm never gonna do that.
Fun. It's fun. Like I'm enjoying it, but it's not essential. I wouldn't be like, you need to play it. It's fun.
The one thing that I think is kind of silly during the actual board games is what is it called? I've never played a Mario Party game with is it a buddy or a partner or where
I think it's buddy.
Where the other guy comes down, and if you land on him, then everybody does a mini game to see who wins him. Those mini games are so long. They're
in the single player too
than the other mini games. And
did you Donkey Kong one?
I did the Donkey Kong one.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The Mario, I did Peach.
Same, yeah.
But it was there were a couple instances where it's like really pointless because somebody passed it on like the second to last turn. And so we did this huge long mini game, and then there was only one turn with it. So like it didn't even matter. And it's like kind of silly when like you do all of that only to like lose it on the next turn because somebody passes you and now they have it. I don't know. Maybe I would not be so like annoyed by it if the minigame wasn't so long. Like it just feels like a lot to get it only to like not keep it for like you often don't keep it for very long.
Yeah. I like the Donkey Konga hero. That was fun.
Oh, that was the one that lagged really badly for us.
Oh no, that would be very bad. That would not be good.
Yeah, it was.
They hit the solo and everybody's clapping. You know, I was like, this is awesome. Like,
I was on voice chat with my friends when we were doing that, and it was so chaotic because it sounded like we were doing it right, but like it wasn't showing up on screen that we were doing it right.
Well, you know, Nintendo.
And then it was like a total surprise who won at the end.
That's why I'm not like super, you know, stoked when people are like, it's got online. I'm like, okay. So does Smash.
Hey, the Nintendo Switch Online secret test is tomorrow.
Yeah, it was today. We should know about it today.
Do we find out today? Emails are supposed to
go out today isn't it today, like later this afternoon?
I don't know, Donnie, because I didn't get selected.
You didn't get in? I didn't try. And I was like, I'm not trying to do this. I can't wait. I got a little bit in the news about that. But I can't wait to find out what all this speculation is about. I really hope
maybe it will be something with a better online connection.
I hope it's like prepare for disappointment. I'm going to laugh. Like I want it to be good just because I want us all to have something, but like
play 3 matches of Mario Kart 8.
There's a troll in me that's really hoping for something like that. You know, like there really is. It's like stickers. They're like, we're doing stickers for NSO. You can trade with your friends. Like I just want to see all these people that were sitting there F5ing. I just want to see all the angry tweets.
I want it to be more boring than that, where they just like play a round of an online game that we already have.
It's like a test flight for a new 99.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's like Luigi's Mansion Kart. 99.
Play even that, it would be better. Like I'm thinking, like we don't even know what the purpose is. Like play a round
Ice Climbers 99.
Play a round of Super Mario Bros on NSO, and then we don't know what the purpose is. It's just people feeding them data.
There are other people are saying that they thought it was different day. Maybe I got it wrong. I thought it was today. I thought we were supposed to get.
I think they find out tomorrow.
That's when the demo goes live. G-Man, I think that's when it's live. I think they're supposed to get an email like today or tomorrow. Maybe it is tomorrow. I thought it was today. Maybe it's tomorrow.
Oh no, the person that I'm stealing it from said it's today, 10:20.
That's what I thought.
I'm gonna hack his account and do it for him.
So yeah, I like Mario Party Jumper. Yeah, I got to play it a lot more. And like Mario Party is one of those things for me where I don't know. It almost feels weird, like even trying to like review a Mario Party because like it is just Mario Party. You know, like it's kind of reached that status where it's like like I need to play it a lot. One just to see how like do the games get repetitive. Like so far, I don't feel like they're really all that repetitive. But I've only played it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you're 10 hours in, are you like not this again? That's when I have like my, is this a good or bad Mario Party game? But like from the start, it feels grand. It feels big. Like I said, it looks really nice. The production is high. When I'm scrolling through the minigame lobby, there's a lot of them. Like there's just a lot of games.
Are they all unlocked or do you have to play them to unlock them?
I think they're all unlocked. Like there's a bunch.
So, like,
there's like a giant grid you can just start playing. But maybe there are locked ones that I haven't unlocked yet that aren't there. I don't know. You know, Pauline and what is it? Nabbit or Ninja? Yeah, you gotta go find them.
Yeah, the way to unlock them, I was very like confused at how easy it was to unlock them. I thought you had to like
Snap, baby.
I thought you had to like do something, but you just go and
Pokemon Snap.
Click them.
Go find them.
But it's not hard to find them.
It would be cool if there were more things like that. The fact that it's just the two and you can do it immediately is like it's not as fun.
Yeah.
It would be cool though, like if randomly folks would just show up that you could get, like if you were always checking.
Yeah.
That would be super fun.
Yeah. It would give you reason to like look around and like keep logging back on.
There, you're like, this is stupid.
Well, yeah, it's why weren't they just part of the roster to begin with? Why did I have to do that? It was silly.
G-Man says the boss mini games aren't available in the
okay.
thing, so gotta do that
makes
first.
Sense.
And in the story mode, the little boss fight that I did, the first one was really fun. It was.
Yeah. Okay.
The other game that I've been playing is the Retro Realms Arcade.
Yeah, what's that all about?
So this is a game made by WayForward, published by Boss Team Games. It's like a new platform, if I had to call it anything. And if you buy it, you can buy it in individual pieces, or you can buy it the bundle. So I bought the bundle. I bought the collector's edition. Now check this, Rebecca. I bought the collector's edition just honestly on a whim. So these people have licensed horror movie icons, and they've made 2D games out of them. So the 2D game, the two games that are included in the bundle from the start are Halloween and The Evil Dead. So you've got these 2D pixel art games where you get to play as Michael Myers and Ash Williams, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I ordered the collector's edition. I love these things. I'm gonna order the collector's edition. The collector's edition was not gonna make it on time. We got an email the day before, like, sorry, we're delayed until like Halloween. And they're like, and we're sorry you're not gonna be able to play the game on day one. So for all of you that ordered collector's editions, we're sending you digital codes tomorrow. So right before the game went live, they sent us digital codes. So not only do I get the collector's edition like in 2 weeks,
you get a digital code.
I got digital codes, which is awesome. Like,
that's great. That's a really nice way to make up for it.
Right. And I feel like it's weird to like shout them out for excellent customer service, but nobody else would do this.
Really?
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This should be the norm, but I know that it wouldn't. It would not be. So when these games were first shown, again, kind of like that surprise factor, I was like, these look cool, but just kind of knowing like the licensed stuff that we've gotten and the games that like Boss Team game, I think they did like the Cobra Kai game that people do like, but like I just didn't have the highest of expectations. I was like, it's going to be, like some license whatnot. I should have known better because I don't think they've done a really good job of like letting people know that like WayForward is making these, because WayForward makes excellent 2D games.
Yeah, they do.
And guess what? The games are excellent. They're really fun. You collect like each character has their own version of this, but you collect like candy corn, which you can then use to like buy moves or upgrade your health and do all that as you keep kind of playing through. It's meant to be like replayed. The game is tough. It's not hard. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's at times it feels cheap. But it's like that's that arcade feeling. So I think people like it that way. There's just like at times there's like a lot of projectiles on the screen, and you're having to like make precision jumps, and doing it all at the same time can be frustrating. You're like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you want me to get through this? But the pitch is the fun part. I mean, the games are great. They look great, even on Switch. They look great. They play great. When you kill people, they've got these ploppy, bloody sounds that I know you'd hate that are great. It also has, like games that they have filters where like if it's raining, the screen looks like it's wet.
Yeah.
They do that, but with blood. When you kill people, like little tears of blood run down.
But I know you love it.
It's great. So the games are great. Both of them. They're both great. They have not like cutscenes, but they've got little dialogue options, and they are written to the characters. Like, it is excellent work. That aside, they're bundled in this package, and this is what it's called, the Retro Realms Arcade. So when you boot up the game, you open you walk into an arcade, and there's two arcade machines there. The Ash, they're the Evil Dead, and the Halloween. You go up to the arcade and you press X to play, and
that's cool.
And that's how you jump into the game.
I like that.
But as you play, you unlock other areas of the arcade. There is a museum as you beat the worlds that begins to fill out with little artifacts of the world that you can pick on and click. As you're playing the game, you collect tickets, and you can turn those tickets in to unlock items in the museum for each character. So you can unlock Michael's knife, or Laurie's tombstone, or Ash's chainsaw, and like these things, which are really cool. And then my favorite part so far is there's a cassette room where you walk into the room, and there's like an old shelf with cassette tapes on it, and you pick a cassette off the shelf, and you put it in the TV, and it plays, and you're like watching little documentary snippets like Atari 50 does. And you get to meet the Boss Team games. You get to meet the WayForward developers. They tell you why they wanted to make this, their favorite horror movies. Yeah, and one of them is
Wow.
really good. You meet the music composer who did this like synth remix on the Halloween theme, and she's like, yeah, she's like, it's very different. It's like in a 1/4 time, and she's like, and it's hard to like mix that with a beat. She's like, so we're sampling like the note. She's like, but it's in a different time, so it's a little different. Like you get to learn about the
Is it
musicology
like a
behind.
recording of her, or is she like in the game as a character?
No, it's like a YouTube video. It's like
Okay.
it's like a recording of all these people. That I was like, I had no idea that was
In the game?
in the game at all.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. I want
I
more
love
of this.
little stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like bonus content.
So it's been a big surprise. I'm
Yeah,
really
this game
enjoying it.
sounds right up your alley.
I would have played way more Mario Party had I not booted it. Like I played a lot of this game already. Like I think I've played this game for like 4 or 5 hours already.
Wow. Yeah.
And like I just started it yesterday. So yeah, I'm really digging. I'm probably gonna buy a Steam copy too. I was always kind of on the fence of like, I'll just get the box copy and just put it on the shelf. Again, expecting,
Well, with
Game
how great the
Mill.
developer has been to you, you might as well.
Exactly. So now I want multiple versions of the game, and I want it in multiple different places. And here's the thing. There are other arcade machines in the arcade that are covered.
So you'll unlock those.
No. I
Oh.
think they're gonna make other games and be like add-on content. You can buy them.
Oh.
They have other games, and that was one of the little documentary snippets. They talk about themselves. They're like, "Hey, we're Boss Team Games," and they're like, "Our founder was like working in the movie industry for like 30 years, and he thinks there's a, like a market in the video games, like an untapped potential in the video game market for horror video games." He's like, you have
Yeah.
like Dead by Daylight. There's a demand for this, but nobody's making like single player content for this. And we think we can do that.
Yeah.
So they've got Halloween and they've got Evil Dead. And the question is like,
What other
what's
licenses
coming
can they
next?
get?
Yeah. Like, are they going to
Especially
get
if this is
Hellraiser,
successful.
Child's Play, Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger? Like the Friday the 13th, like, like your mind begins to race. Also, there's like unlockable characters. And as you level up and unlock the characters, you can use them in the other person's game. So I can play Evil Dead as Michael Myers and use all
that's
his skills and
cool.
pop around. Yeah. So
That
it's
is
like, that's
cool.
why I kind of meant like a platform. It's like they're like trying to build out like this, I don't know, like this single player focused kind of Fortnite like thing that they'll just keep building on. I'm very interested to see what support looks like. Are we waiting a year? Do they already have something in the works? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. The games aren't like super long. I think you can probably beat like all of the Halloween one in like 2 or 3 hours. It's pretty quick. So, but yeah, big surprise. Liking a lot.
Good. Yeah, that sounds great for you.
Anything else from you?
I am playing Life is Strange Double Exposure. Obviously not on Switch, but I'm playing it on Steam. Because the first 2 episodes are out early if you paid the premium, which I did.
Did you notice the reviewers only got to review the first 2 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was kind of like. That's a weird way of rolling a game out for like reviews.
It kind of is, yeah.
Because your review cycles kind of already happened, but the scores will happen later.
Yeah.
That's odd.
People were saying that they really liked it though. But I'm in the middle of episode 1. I'm trying to like extend it so that the whole first 2 weeks I'm playing it throughout. Like I'm not just trying to binge it really fast. I'm trying to draw it out for the 2 early weeks so that by the time the rest of them release, I'll be like, I'm not like waiting a long time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I really like it so far.
Nice.
I'm like not
that
like
is good
super
stuff.
deep into it. Like I feel like it's like kind of slow to start, and I'm like just kind of getting into like the good stuff now. But I really like the characters so far.
What about the mechanic? That was my concern.
I'm still learning it. They don't give it to you like right away, so I'm still investigating how that's gonna work, because I'm only in episode 1, so like kind of like the the twist. I wish that they didn't tell you, in the trailer that like they did this for True Colors too, that like in True Colors going into it that your brother dies. Going into this that your friend Safi dies. Like I wish that that we didn't know that going into it, because I feel like it would be a lot more impactful. Like when it happened, I was just like, oh, okay, so that's how it happened.
Let me ask you this, just to present the other side of the coin. Then what would they put in the trailer?
I know.
Like they got to market something.
Well, I don't know. How was the first Life is Strange marketed?
It reminds me of your Tears of the Kingdom commercial, where it's like, "Did you like this game? We made another one." And like that's the end of the commercial. Like that's your Life is Strange commercial.
Yeah, right.
Do you like these kids? Here's another one.
But they do ask you, and I didn't watch some of the trailers, so I don't know how much of this like they showed or not, but they do ask you in the very beginning of the game, like which Life is Strange 1 ending you want to have be your canon for this. And I picked BAY, Bay. And I like
Bay.
Bay over Bay, right? Yeah.
Definitely go Bay over the Bay.
I know. Well, I assume that's how you're gonna play.
That's exactly, yeah.
So I am curious how things will be different, because she talks a lot about my ending and the consequences of that. And I'm very curious what she says. I'm curious what she says if you pick BAE.
All those people can go.
I'm choosing my words carefully because Josh has not played the first game yet, and he is going to soon.
Very nice.
Yeah.
He's gonna play on Switch.
So yeah, I don't know I don't even know when it comes out on Switch.
Yeah, it was delayed, right? It comes out later
in
November or something. I don't know.
But I am really liking it, and I will share more about that much, much, much later.
I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah.
I just got to get through this pile of games, and then I'll get there.
Yeah.
Might be something I play on our Christmas break. That might be when I can get it in.
That would be a good choice, because it has a very wintry theme to it. Like it's all snowy. It's very beautiful, very snowy campus type of feel. So I feel like it's going to be a very good winter game.
Nice.
Like takes place in December in Vermont. I love it. I played a little bit. I started on the Steam Deck, and then I played a little bit more on the PC, and the PC controls are much better.
Okay. Yeah, like I don't think those games scale down very well, which is weird because they used to be like mobile games, but it seems like as they've moved on or moved to a new engine or whatnot, like it's not something you particularly want to play portably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll probably keep playing it on PC.
Cool.
All right, hit us with some news, Donnie.
Pre-orders for the Analog 3D, a reimagining of the N64 open next week. And honestly, when I say next week, I think tomorrow. I'm buying one.
You're gonna try to buy one.
Is Analog bad for getting pre-orders? I thought they were pretty good at that.
No.
Oh God, no! Don't tell me that. Maybe I'm not gonna buy one then, because I'm not doing like I've written that off in my life. I'm not fighting people to buy things anymore. So if I can, I'll just wait till I can, or if I can't, then I just never will. But
they
I'm not
have
doing
been
that.
better at like making more available later on.
Is this going to be in that high of demand? Like I don't know if people want a 64 like they did the Game Boy.
I'm seeing a lot of hype for this, Donnie.
Are you? Okay. Jeez, I really want one. That makes me very upset.
They might have
try to buy one.
They might have made it better.
I'm going to try to buy one. As G-Man says, laugh out loud. Analog sucks with that. I have no idea. This will be the first Analog thing I ever try to buy. So
yeah,
I have no idea.
Well, I think they also want it to appear that there's a lot of demand. So I don't know how much of it they hold back.
Well, that's lame. Analog 3D is an N64 console that plugs into modern HD TVs, plays N64 games in 4K resolution, compatible with every N64 game ever made, accepts cartridges from all regions, includes 4 original style controller ports. It does not come with a controller, but 8-Bit Dough has you covered, as they've made a controller for this sold separately for $40. It's a
How does it not come with a controller?
Yeah, this came up in the Discord too. Honestly, it's to keep the costs down. That's why.
Yeah, I guess so. It's already very expensive.
It's really not though.
I know.
For what it is compared to like the price you would pay to make this happen, it's really
I
cheap.
know.
Like that if it was expensive, I wouldn't be that interested. But honestly, the price is what got me interested. I was like, holy
What's
crap,
it,
it's only
$250?
$250? Yeah. An HDMI modded N64 on eBay is like $600.
Yeah.
A retro Tink is like $700. You know, I was like, a
True.
$250. That's so cheap.
I think I'm gonna try to get one for Josh for Christmas.
Nice. That'd be great. Oh wow, girlfriend of the year. I wish I would die for my wife to give me something like this.
But I don't know if
for
he's gonna
Christmas.
try to get one too, and then I'm gonna be like, oh no, what do I
Well,
do?
if you get two, let me know.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna try to get one.
I will. I will.
I don't. Here's the thing. Have you looked at the website at all or anything?
Yeah.
They don't have any comparisons on like what it looks like at all. There's no video. There's no like pictures. There's no like
There's pictures.
Pictures of what the difference is between.
Oh
like,
no.
That's what I'm saying. So like you're kind of buying it like off of like just kind of trust me. Yeah.
And they have a good track record.
They have a good track.
I'm very happy with my analog products.
So that's why I'm gonna buy it. Like I agree with you. I think most people. I've never met anybody that bought something from Analog and they're like, I hate this. Almost everybody that has bought something from them is like, this is great.
They have very tiny screenshots.
But I have an HDMI adapter. I've got the Ultra 64 on my N64. So there's a part of me that's wondering, like, will this be any better than what I already have? Probably not, if I had to guess. But even
this is legit.
Yeah, even so, you'll be able to dump ROMs on it. You'll be able to probably install like other systems on it too, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Like didn't they open that up with a Game Boy?
They did, and now I need to go see if I have a meeting at 11 tomorrow when it opens.
So that's part of me is thinking
I'll replace.
Part of me is thinking I'll replace my 64 with this one, and then not only will it be my 64, which I still frequently use, I will then in turn turn it into like a retro console too. I'll put like Super Nintendo games on it, maybe some Game Boy games on it. Like I'll put other things into it. So I'm trying to get a little extra out of it. And then as I was talking to Dev and Delvin, what do I do with my 64, Rebecca?
Give it to me.
Give it to you? Because I was like, do I sell it? And they were like, absolutely not. Don't sell it. Because I've got I have the ice blue 64 with matching controllers. I was like, man,
don't get rid of it. I'll take it if you really need someone to take it off your hands.
I might sell the adapter though. That adapter could be a big chunk out of this.
The adapter for what?
The 64. I have an HDMI adapter on my 64 that upscales the image, and the adapter alone cost me like $150 when it came out. I could probably get $100 just for the adapter, pretty easy. So that would lower the cost of this pretty fast. But I'm gonna try to get one, I guess.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
I don't like hearing that. I honestly thought I could like just sleep in and turn that thing on and just buy one, because I felt like that Game Boy Pocket thing was up for a long time. Like it was very easy to get
after they added the other ones. The very first wave, no.
So that's when I'll actually get one. Is not out of the first wave. Maybe I'll have to wait for the other, because if I get in there and it's crap, I'm just gonna turn it. I'm not doing that.
I've had things where I didn't get my first choice of color for certain things in the first wave because it sold out immediately.
This does come in black and white.
If I had to get white, I would kill myself.
Yeah, I don't want the white one, but if that's the only one, if I can easily get the white one versus I might just order the white one.
No.
I'll have somebody like mod it. I'll send it to somebody at Etsy to like paint it or something. Like, hey, can you make this look awesome? Like, can you like draw Zelda on it or something?
Right.
I'll call the Spicy Frog folks. Like, can you make this gold like you did my Wind Waker controller? I might do that. Maybe the white one. Maybe I don't think anybody wants the white one, so maybe the white one will be easy to get.
Probably black will definitely sell out fast.
So maybe I go white first.
Oh.
I might.
Okay.
Let's see here. Nintendo Switch Online Banjo Tooie, the sequel to Banjo Kazooie, is coming to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack October 25th.
Should have been Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah. People are excited for this new, like really excited. The Banjo fans I give them nothing. They are faithful. Like they show up for Banjo. It's wild that this is an Xbox game. It's generating all buzz on nothing that has anything to do with Xbox at all. Like just give Nintendo the license back then. Like it just feels like
Did you hear what what
G-Man in the chat.
what the Xbox marketing guy said about Banjo this week?
I read that on Reddit, and the reason I didn't put it in the notes, not because I don't believe it. I mean, it is whoever was there, I guess, that was their thing. It seemed like really light. It's like I would want like a strong confirmation either way before reporting on that. But yeah, apparently Xbox's marketing head Aaron Greenberg said nobody wants Banjo.
Nobody
right?
cares about Banjo.
Nobody cares about
After
Banjo.
the reason why he said that was somebody during a recent event to promote Microsoft Flight Simulator, attendees were asked about which franchises they would like to see return in the future. Somebody yelled out Banjo Kazooie, and he goes, "Nobody cares about Banjo Kazooie." Really? Because the person who called out cares about Banjo Kazooie.
They are a loud group of people. I wonder if it's like at an Xbox level, I wonder if the numbers actually probably bear out that nobody does care about Banjo. It might be true. I don't know.
Smash
But I
players
know
care about Banjo.
there's a lot of Nintendo fans that give a fuck about Banjo, so they should do something with Banjo. We've been saying, everybody, it's not just a Wii, it's not a Nintendo, everybody's been saying they should do something with Banjo for like a decade. I don't know what else to say. What they don't care about it, clearly. Not just because Aaron Greenberg said Xbox. Xbox doesn't care about it, clearly. They've done nothing with it at all. So, like, just sell it. Just release it. Give it back to Nintendo. Give it to somebody that'll do something with it.
They might as well get a paycheck for it.
I've never played Banjo Tooie, ever. I've played Banjo Kazooie and I played Nuts and Bolts, but I've never played Banjo Tooie and still won't. I've never been all that into Banjo personally. So
I'm glad that they're adding it in the Switch's final moments.
Yeah, it's a big moment. I had some other notes here that are like somewhat related. Again, Sunday surprise is what I wrote down. Like we're hopefully looking forward to whatever it is that Nintendo is playtesting. It may or may not be revealed today. And this may or may not be related to it. So a reset era thread that's been digging around through the shipment notifications of components Nintendo's ordering. I've talked about this for months now, of all the Nintendo Switch 2 parts that they're ordering. Like, people have already kind of piecemealed this thing together. Well, one thing that popped up recently is they are ordering large quantities of stuff to build GameCube controllers.
Ooh.
So Nintendo is looking to make a GameCube controller in some way. Now, that could mean a lot of things. People are making YouTube videos like, is GameCube coming to Switch Online? It could. It also could mean that they're preparing to release some like new Smash something and do controllers for it. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that, but it could. Also, an email went out to all Nintendo Switch Online subscribers from Nintendo celebrating 3 years of Nintendo Switch Online and informing those subscribers, like, hey, what's next for Nintendo Switch Online? Stay tuned to find out in 2025. I don't ever recall getting that email before, like in year 2 or year, like, did you?
I mean,
because I saw that email and I was like, this is different. I don't know. It does seem like they
want to generate hype.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to
Banjo Tooie. Like, that's all
they're trying to generate a little attention for Nintendo Switch Online. And
I don't think you should read too much into that.
GameCube would do it, though. That would get a lot of people excited.
Yes, it would.
And as I made fun on PSVG after years and years of chasing Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, would you leave it up to Nintendo to just put the damn GameCube versions of Nintendo Switch Online?
I would be
like,
so
play
mad.
those.
I would be so mad.
I would buy. I already have the GameCube controller, but I would probably buy another one for sure. If they have like cool designs on them or something, I would buy another one. I wouldn't buy like a Nintendo Switch Online basic GameCube controller. I wouldn't buy one of those.
Me neither.
More PokeLeaks. Yet another discarded X and Y feature. At one point, they had it built into where you could create your own custom gyms. Now, let me pitch this to you, Rebecca. Players create their own original gyms and share them online. Other players can attempt to conquer these gyms. Once a gym is conquered, the gym leader, an NPC version of the player, can join the player's gym. The gym leader can be placed as a member of their original gym. So it's kind of your dungeon maker, but for
Yeah,
Pokemon.
I mean, they did a little bit with this in Auras, right? Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, where you could kind of have something close to this. So it was discarded in X and Y. It wasn't quite as fleshed out where, the gym leader would join your gym, but you could set, I think, 3 Pokemon in your secret base, and other people who save your secret base can challenge it. So it wasn't like a full-fledged gym maker kind of thing, but I think they reused the idea a little bit for Auras. All these leaks are still coming in hot. The ones we were talking about last week, they are still doing more and more.
Oh yeah, I'm not covering 90% of them because there's a ton of it.
There's a lot.
I love the idea of a gym maker, and I think this should be something they would reserve for like a return of like Stadium.
Yeah, that'd be
I wouldn't burn this on the mainline game. I would put this in as like an attractive side piece in a spin-off game.
They could make a whole spin-off game out of gym making.
You could, yeah. I love the idea of like the social interaction. Like you join the gym and like maybe you collect my gym badges and stuff. And I think if you paired that like with Stadium, I think that could be a lot of fun.
Design your own badge.
Or something like that. Yeah, you design your own badge. Like there's a social element there that's really cool.
Yeah.
Again, this is starting to come out. I'm actually, let me say this. Some of this is coming out of these PokeLeaks. Some of the other thing, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's going around. So one of the PokeLeaks, and this came from Central Leaks, who's covering all the Terra League stuff.
How has he not been nuked, out of orbit by now?
Yeah, I saw him be like, he has a backup account, but he just keeps going and nothing's happening. Switch 2 uses the same tools in ROM format as Switch 1, which sounds totally right to me because we expect it to be completely backwards compatible. But that explains a lot why Nintendo is suddenly really cracking down on people that are dumping Switch ROMs. Like if that's true, 100%, they're like going to make sure that people aren't breaking or try to at least lessen the availability, the ease of access to people dumping Switch 2 games at launch on the Switch 2. So for anybody that's like, why is Nintendo doing this all of a sudden? That is the answer. They probably realized like, hey, this has been a problem and it's going to continue to be a problem. So we need to crack down on it now.
Makes sense.
And then there's a sketch going around of claiming what the Switch 2's dock looks like, and apparently a kickstand.
We have evolved past the need for blurry photo leaks, and we are now taking very quickly sketched out leaks. Where
the NX did this too. Do you remember?
No.
So this was it's a fun little anecdote in like Switches and Nintendo Shack history. There was an outlet that leaked what the Switch was like officially. I think it was like the first like official leak. It was an outlet called Let's Play Video Games, and they drew it. Like somebody showed them what it was, and then they drew a picture of it, and that's what like started going around on the internet back in the day. They were like, "This is the Switch," and it was a drawing of a Switch with the Joy-Cons you could top off. Now, the funny part about that, the reason I say Shack history is it was like Laura Dale who went on to like work at Eurogamer and stuff because of all this.
Yeah, I know her.
Because their outlet is called Let's Play Video Games, guess who got caught up in like all of their notifications when people were just like play some video
games.
Yeah, like we got tagged all the time. It was like a thing for like 6 months. And we made jokes about it all the time. I was like, yeah, that's our Euro outlet. That's like our sister site. And like they would do the same thing back and forth.
That's
so like for a little bit of time, like she and I were messaging each other and kind of talking because it was just something we just kind of got caught in the vortex of. But
that's funny.
I remember that drawing. It's etched in my brain because I've seen it so many times.
This Switch 2 drawing sketch, it looks very similar to the current dock and Switch, where the kickstand is similar, but like it's kind of like a cutout rectangle.
Yeah, it's not the whole thing.
It looks a little flimsier based on the sketch. I don't know. And
if it's still the steel part, I think it'll be fine. But the question is like, is it not?
Plastic?
Right. Yeah. And then you're right.
Then the dock is like kind of the same, but like it has a little bit of like an angular shape to
rounded.
it.
Yeah.
like a triangle-ish, I guess, kind of shape. And then of course somebody took the sketch and made a 3D model of it. So now, people are doing all sorts of speculation. But I mean, I think it's fine. Like if we're just talking about an upgraded, better Switch, like that new dock probably, is a little bit
It
bigger to
looks
have some more
different.
technology in it,
Like it
right?
looks different. Like it
Yeah.
definitely
But
gives
it's
the
not like
impression
what
that
we
it's
wouldn't
different.
expect.
Right.
It's
Correct.
not wildly different.
No, but you can differentiate between the products, which is the point.
Yes.
You're not in a Wii U situation where people are like, is this the same? Right. Because
Right.
it's different. No, it's
Right.
not the same. I'll tell you I played with Switch Lite for like weeks, right? And then you're gonna laugh. I left it in my office Friday night, and it was sitting on my desk, and I just got up and packed up and left. So when I got home to play Mario Party and Retro Realms, I picked up the OLED, having not played it in a couple weeks, and the thing suddenly feels massive. like, wow, this thing is really big, isn't it? And then that's crazy because the Switch 2
It's
is
gonna be
reportedly
bigger.
I'm like, wow, like that's all in my head
Yeah.
all weekend. I was like, that Switch 2 is going to be a monster. Like it's going to feel like you're holding a TV in your hand, like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Well, I think it's comparable to the Steam Deck, right? And probably
Sure.
the one that you have. The 8 years ago, G-Man reminds us, 8 years ago today was the reveal of the Nintendo Switch, that very first trailer.
That Mario? Was that the Mario?
No. The one where he has the big dog in his apartment and he puts it in and then you can see like and it shows Breath of the Wild a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actual trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
8
years ago
today.
Wow. That is, I don't know. I never would have imagined that the system would have gotten this far along at the time. I don't think anybody could have. 8 years, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Whole different PSVG ago.
It
Crazy.
really is.
We got that first trailer, like that first little snippet. We did almost a 3-hour podcast on that thing. It was ridiculous. Damn trailer was like all of 20 seconds. We recorded for like 2.5 hours.
But that was like the first droplet of news that we got after after months and months and years of speculating of what the NX is. And it was like, tomorrow we'll get news. Tomorrow we'll get news. And then tomorrow came.
Yeah. Kind of like now.
Yeah.
Mouse PI for Hire added a Switch version. That game's come out in 2025. This is part of the Xbox showcase this week. I've seen this game before. It's like this, like very old school, like original Mickey Mouse, the black and white animation, but it's like a shooter.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Yeah. Okay.
Nintendo's Screaming Deals. Their Halloween sale is live now. There's a bunch of scary games in there, like Resident Evil and Darkest Dungeon, Ghost Trick, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Cult of the Lamb, Doom, Castlevania. But then you also get games like Spyro and Animal Well, and they're also on sale for some reason. But there's a big sale. There's a lot of things on sale. So if you want to go pick up a few games, go grab some. And then Sakurai announced his final YouTube video arrives Tuesday, and it'll be 40 minutes long.
He's ending it, and I wonder why. What is he going to do next?
I don't know. Hop into, he's going to remaster Kid Icarus.
Oh, stop it.
I have not watched any of his YouTube stuff. Have you?
Every once in a while, I'll see something pop up on the feed. I'm like, hey, that's kind of interesting, and I'll check it out. But I don't watch it religiously.
But that's it for the news.
That's it for the news. Shall I jump into the questions?
Yeah.
All right. Starting with I Can't See asks us, I may have asked this already, but in honor of Retro Realms, if they sold game and movie combo sets, would you buy one? I think you did ask this, I Can't See. We talked about this, I remember.
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah, interesting idea.
I think of this in a lot of different ways. Yes, for like licensed stuff, I actually think you should include a copy of the digital. We talked about those at Wonder. I thought Wonder should have come with a digital copy of the Mario movie,
That'd
the
cool.
code, or the Super Mario, the Mario Red Edition OLED, the console. Put a code for the movie in there.
Yeah,
I think something like that makes a ton of sense. And yeah, I think a copy of the movie would have been great to include in a special edition. There's a lot of stuff that And I think we may see that here going forward as these companies try to find other ways of extracting more value out of these properties. And we're already seeing it with like more and more game properties are becoming multimedia, licenses and universes where they're making TV shows and movies and stuff out of these things, Netflix anime series. I think that does make sense. Like throw a code, maybe even a trial code for Netflix or the streaming service that whatever the product is on, like throw that in there. Like there's ways of cross promoting these sorts of things that I don't think has really been all that tapped into yet. I used to say this about Game Pass. I don't understand why Game Pass doesn't like give us a movie every month.
That'd be pretty
Like
cool.
yeah, like and the same
They
thing
could
for
get some kind
PlayStation
of
Plus.
deal.
Yeah. I don't know if Nintendo would ever venture into there because they're not really doing that. But like with DS and stuff, you should be able to buy movies. I could totally see them making like their own app thing and like just having the Mario movie available to you on the eShop. You could just have the movie and put it on your Switch or something. I could see stuff like that happening.
And then with the upcoming Minecraft movie, there's a lot of Minecraft content on the Switch. It's like if you have, buy any of this Minecraft content, here's a Minecraft movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't just because I'm not like a big movie person. It would have to be something I'm already specifically interested in, I guess. But yeah, I think a lot of people would be interested.
Mm-hmm.
Crawler asks us, do you think backwards compatibility will work well or look nice on the Switch successor? DS games don't look any better on the 3DS. GameCube games didn't look any better or run faster on the Wii. I hope that the Switch 2 will be able to change all of that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, we can only go off of the reports that we had with Breath of the Wild and hands-on, but I would expect because the Switch, like those other systems, like when you turn the GameCube mode on the Wii, it essentially like just downclocked because it was the same. It's like the same processor, right? It's the same processor and GPU. Like the Wii was a GameCube.
Yeah.
It was just overclocked and had a motion controller, but it was like the same system. So like, even though there was room for it to do it, I think it was like the way the games were made. If they had overclocked it, it may have made the games like run faster or something like that. So,
Well, I think that at the very least, the performance will be better because it's going to be on more powerful hardware. So I think, some of these games that chug a little bit or, have frame rate issues, whatever, they'll run better. But I wonder if they're going to they're not necessarily going to look nicer, but then they'll resell us Breath of the Wild.
there it is. Yeah.
That's
The question
nicer.
is it free out of the box? Do they venture down the road that Sony did? Or are they going to charge us upgrades? I've always questioned that because that just doesn't sound like a Nintendo thing to
No,
do.
it doesn't.
They're just sell you the whole game again. But to your point, if it's running on the same kind of architecture, so like the first and foremost, by switching to a faster memory storage, which we already know is going to be there, the
Faster
load
load
times
times.
are going to improve.
That's what I
dramatically,
want. I need to get
just
back
like
into
out of the
Animal
box.
Crossing, but I do not want to wait 5 minutes for my island to load.
And that'll be every game. Like every game will just load hell of a lot faster. And then because the streaming storage is faster, the RAM and everything, like anything that's loading things in as you're moving around the camera, so like your open world games, you're streaming in assets, you should see a lot less pop in, which will improve the frame rate and the the little load stuttering. Now the question is, do they remaster games? Do they just like do they just all run better? Do they remaster them or do they sell as patches? That remains to be seen.
I think they resell as select games.
I think Nintendo will resell as select games. I think third-party folks will patch selects games.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that, and I don't think they'll sell them. They'll just patch them. Like certain things will just run better. Like I think Bethesda will like patch Skyrim, and like Doom will just get better one day.
I don't
They're
know.
not
They
gonna
might
sell
have
it.
another reason to resell a Skyrim, Donnie.
Yeah, you're right. But like Ubisoft, like the Ubisoft games, like I don't think they can get away with reselling those.
No.
So they'll just patch them. They'll just turn up the settings and patch them, and they'll just run better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they'll do it. Super Meta Boy asks us, what would Nintendo have to do to get you to pay for a year of NSO with or without the expansion pass? whatever they're doing right now. I
Yeah,
pay
I'm paying for that
for
already.
I pay for it, but I'm on a family plan for the expansion pass. So I think I'd pay like $8 for the year, maybe.
I used to be, and then I hopped off of it for like 2 years, and now I'm on my own. Now I'm doing the individual thing. I'm paying more.
Yeah.
And I did get the expansion pass. They offered me a promo. I've gotten 2 promos lately. I got a promo. I think I told you guys this. It was like 3 or 4 months ago. I got an email, and they're like, if you renew your Nintendo Switch Online, you'll get like a $20 eShop credit. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
like sure.
Yeah.
I'm always down for free money.
Right.
Anytime I can pick up free money, I'm like, yep, let's do
You're
that.
going to use that anyway.
Correct. And then I got a code for like a year or 6 months or something in one of the games that I bought, and I extended it again.
Okay.
So I have a Nintendo Switch Online and expansion pack until
Yeah,
like
you said
2027 or something. I was like, okay, like sure, we'll see where this goes.
Now, I would like for, expansion pass members or just base members or whatever, I don't care. They've done a couple games where you can play the game's DLC for free. Like the only way that I have the Animal Crossing Happy Island Paradise or whatever is from NSO. I don't have that bought individually. I would like to have, I would like to see honestly all DLCs available through the expansion pass. If you're paying for the expansion pass, like let me play the Mario Kart DLC, let me play Breath of the Wild DLC, let me play, all these other first party games that have expansions or DLC to them. Like they should just be included with it.
I'm all
I think
for
that
that.
would sell. That would sell a lot of NSO.
I think that was the point when they started that, and I think the reason they've stopped doing that is I don't think that's justifying out for them.
You don't think?
I don't think. I think they're like, stop doing that. We're making more money by selling it.
Mm.
But I'm with you because it's been something that I really focused on. That first year, it was like every game that had DLC that year was there. And then the second year, it was like a little less. And then now we just don't even see it anymore. It just doesn't really happen.
Like, even if it came a little bit later, like, I know that the Splatoon Octo expansion is on there, but the 3's DLC, the Tower of
Correct.
Order or whatever, is
Yeah.
not. And, like, if they added
and I
that,
just don't like
at the 1 year point, okay, buy it for a year and then it's free a year later.
that's the thing. I want to know what you like when it comes to subscriptions. I want to know what you can expect from subscribing, and like the we may or may not, or when we like that gets me with Game Pass all the time, pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're asking me to subscribe indefinitely. I need to know what I'm signing up for, not like we'll surprise you when we want to. Like, no, we won't. Then I'll stop subscribing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that was something that they thought about and they've now pulled back from. So while I agree with you, I would rather just have more games. I've said this before, if I could upgrade something, not that they need me to because I already have it, I would love for them to include like an indie pass in Nintendo Switch Online, where they, instead of just doing like the stupid little trial thing they're doing, I would love if post, launch window or whatever, they start including some indie games that you can just add in there and you can download and play.
I would love that.
Throw snipper clips in there, get just all like a Golf Story, like get these Nintendo flavored indie games, and throw them in there. SteamWorld Dig 2, like these games have been
Stuff
out a
that's been
long
out for a
time.
while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been out a long time. You don't have to do it at launch.
Especially games that have, sequels or other games by the developer, that you would get into it and then want to buy the next game.
And then buy the next. Exactly.
Let me try it.
Yep, that would be great.
Jared
Trials.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
PlayStation does trials for their tier where you can like try like all of their games for like a certain period of time. Something like that I would like for Nintendo, but I would never expect Nintendo to do that. Because I think Nintendo would be like, well, if we let you play it for 2 hours, you won't buy it. So I don't expect Nintendo to venture down that path, but that would be pretty cool.
Jared says, does Donnie still think we see Switch 2 announced this October? Almost to the end.
I appreciate you holding me to that. And yeah, it doesn't look like it. But at the time, I mean, it felt like there was a lot of momentum that thing was about to be shown off. So I wouldn't hold out for hope now. What is it? It's the 20th? Nah, probably not. but you never know. But probably not. But at the time, was it last month, month before that, September? I mean, we were getting leaks of the architecture, the chip, the parts were being ordered, manufacturing was going in. Like we were getting leaks pretty hot and heavy there for a moment. So I was like, it's got to be soon, but doesn't seem like it at the moment.
Yeah. I don't even think we're going to see it till January at the earliest.
I hope you're right, just so you can be like, I've held firm to this and was right the whole time.
I'm so smart.
Mm-hmm. Nintendo Insider. A real uncle that works at Nintendo.
Sleepy Gamer asks, what are some of your favorite video game references in TVs and movies? And likewise, what are your favorite TV movie references in video games? Huh.
So I assume that we would rule out things that are like just video game based, like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got a couple. One of them, the one for me is Freddy's Dead. Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy's Dead. He uses a power glove to kill somebody, which is awesome.
That is really cool.
Freddy's Dead is a pretty terrible movie.
I've never seen it.
It's very comical. It's like so Nightmare on Elm Street, like 1 and 3 and 4 are like, and I say this quote, for Nightmare on Elm Street, they're like grounded horror movies. Like Freddy's always been kind of funny. Like he has a one-liner here and then, but he does like kill everybody and it's like gruesome, right?
Listen, I just Googled a list and that's on here.
There you go. Freddy's Dead is like, but what if the whole movie was just like his one-liners? It's like it's really silly. So there's this scene where he's playing Nintendo, he's playing NES, and he's like trying to kill the campers on the screen. And the girl, she like kicks the controller out of his hand. And as Freddy does, he pulls up his glove and he's got the power glove. And he's like, you forgot about the power glove, bitch. And then he starts trying to kill them with that. And that's very funny. That has always got me forever.
All right. I have 2 to say. And listen, I do not like South Park at all. And I don't even like World of Warcraft.
Oh, I love
But the World of Warcraft episode in South Park is really damn funny.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
And then listen, I didn't know about this until literally last night. Me and Josh were looking at TikTok in bed. And in an episode of House, apparently House goes, which is why Arceus created a universe with 3 states of matter and all 300 solid and liquid poisons that could cause his symptoms. And the guy goes, Arceus? And he goes, look it up.
A couple more that come to mind. There's a movie, this is like actually somewhat somber, so not to bring the energy down, but there's a really, really good movie called Reign Over Me with Don Cheadle and Adam Sandler. And Adam Sandler, have you ever seen this movie, Rebecca?
Which movie?
It's called Reign Over Me.
No.
Like a king's reign, like reign over me. So Adam Sandler's character, his wife and daughter died in September 11th. And you meet him like 10 years later, and he's just like, his whole life is just like went to hell. Like he's just let himself go. He was like this very like successful person. So it's a movie about like depression.
Okay.
And what it does to you. And like he keeps remodeling his kitchen over and over and over again, because when they died, that's what they were in the process of remodeling their kitchen. So it's like very sad. And he meets his old high school roommate, Don Cheadle, who comes in, like essentially figures out like, oh man, my dude is in trouble. And throughout that movie, like honestly, it's like a through line throughout the movie. They were playing Shadow of the Colossus all the time because it's like what they did. So they get down, and it's almost like his way of like trying to like get beneath like the depression to him is like when they're playing Shadow of the Colossus, like he can kind of talk to him and like things are kind of landing. And it's just like like I said, it's a heavy movie, but it's good. It is a good movie. So I always think of that when I think of like video games and like in movies that aren't like about video games. That one comes up to mind because it's
that's a good one.
It's a big part of the movie actually.
Huh. It's really good. I was also trying to think of the flip ones that he was asking, favorite movie references in video games. I know Life is Strange, the original one, has a lot. Like it has like Twin Peaks references, like a lot of like the license plates mention Twin Peaks.
I didn't even think Twin Peaks. Yeah, there's a ton. Control. Deadly Premonition. Like there's a lot of Twin Peaks stuff. I was thinking like the one for me would be the Holy Hand Grenade for sure. In Worms.
Okay.
You ever seen the Monty Python?
Yeah.
And the Holy Grail or the Holy Hand Grenade?
Yeah.
In Worms, you can use the Holy Hand Grenade and throw it and kill everybody. Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
Apparently in one of the I'm Googling, I'm so cheating, but apparently in one of the Phoenix Wright games, character Lisa goes, I'm sorry, that data is super admin restricted desktop access password protected. Maya goes, super admin restricted desktop access password protected. What? This is madness. Phoenix goes, no, Maya, this is Sparta, which is super password access restricted desktop access. So silly. Yeah, there's some good ones. Probably better ones that we didn't come up with, but
yeah, probably.
Yeah, obviously stuff like Wreck-It Ralph is like, that's crossover. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I
that's
would
not
rule
a
that out.
reference.
Wreck-It Ralph,
that's
Scott
like
Pilgrim, like it's about video games,
it is.
pixels.
Yeah.
I would throw the Wizard in that. Like it's about like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Did you sorry.
It's okay.
I'm trying to remember. Not this is not about a movie in particular, so this doesn't even count actually, but in Ocarina, Ocarina of Time, you have the puzzle with the Deku Scrub where you have to beat them in order.
23 is number 1.
23 is number 1. So when I was a kid, we always used to joke that was a Michael Jordan thing. Did you ever hear that? Was that like ever a thing?
Oh, I never thought about that. No, I never heard that.
Because it was like very much like at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I did hear about that and just didn't remember because I don't care about sports.
Yeah. I don't know if that, honestly don't even know if it is, but the whole 23 is number 1 thing. It was like, well, he is number 1. And it's.
Do they care about that in Japan?
No idea. Like, I honestly have no idea. That's why, like, it was like, I don't actually think this is a thing, but you can say it's a thing, and like, it gets around the school bus.
Is the puzzle like because I know that the order 2, 3, 1 is obviously the same in the Japanese version, but is the hint towards it still 23 is number 1?
That's a good call. I have no idea. That is good.
I don't know either. That's like a trivia. Yeah.
Somebody should let us know.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Is it about MJ or not?
Okay. Gamer Guy Lou asks us, after the time you've spent with Echoes of Wisdom so far, what was your favorite area to visit in the game and why?
I'm a sucker for, honestly, this is probably in like every one of the games. I'm a sucker for anything like Zora's. It's just like kind of my happy place. I want to be in the water and all that.
Yeah.
So I really dug the river Zoras and even the ocean Zoras, like swimming around, finding the pirate ship, finding the island, all those stuff down there. It's super fun.
I like that both were in it, the river and the sea, and they were kind of separated a little bit. Like you had your river Zora, it was kind of like up some cascading waterfalls. There was the river going through it, and then the sea Zora, it was like literally right in the middle of the bay. It was kind of an open ocean type of situation. So that was very cool to explore. I really like the Farron wetlands. I love me some trees. I like that it was, the raining mechanics with the rivet tune or whatever, like controlling. Cool. There were a couple puzzles. I didn't tell you, I got all the heart pieces. I got all the might crystals. I've been trying to 100% it. I haven't picked it up in a little while, but I'm like very close to 100%ing it. I have almost,
nice.
all the big things. And I just really like the Deku Scrubs. They are so funny in this game.
They are.
The way they sound,
they
their dialogue.
The show that way.
They're so funny. So I really liked exploring that area.
Their little
there was
candy,
a lot to do and see there.
Their little sweet addiction, their little sweet tooth.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And the spider webs as cotton candy thing was creative.
Yeah.
That was a neat little take. A lot better than like icing being the snow level. Like I'm kind of over that. I can not see that for a while and be okay.
Yeah.
Like the Mario thing, everything icing is snow forever. It's like they've turned the snow levels into just cake.
Yeah, Zelda hasn't really done that, but I think that's a big thing in Mario and other games. Like Astro, I think, does that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then TPR asks us, how do you make gaming at your desk comfortable? I'm trying, but for the life of me, just want to go back to my couch. I'm considering getting a nice recliner type chair down the line for extended game at my desk. TPR, that is exactly what I did. Josh is now using my like gaming chair, and this belongs in my living room. It is a like single seat couch. And now my living room is opened up a little bit more, so there's more space because this is not in it, and this has pillows, and it's very wide, and I can get my blankets, and I can lean back, and it is so comfy, and my cat can lay on the back of it, and I highly recommend it. Just keep your posture nice because you might have a bad back if you don't.
I tried multiple different iterations to find a sofa chair that I could use at my computer desk. And the problem was none of them were tall enough.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
reach
fair.
my desk level to use it as a desk.
That's fair.
And I even like went crazy as like, could I like extend the legs? Could I put it on a platform? Like what can we do to fix the problem? And then I actually, and this just happened out of the blue, Rebecca, I was talking with Sean on Sweet Hangs months ago. And I was like, maybe I could like replace my Xbox with like there was like rumors going around for like the past year that the next Xbox would be like an Xbox, but it's also like a PC, but built for like the living room TV. And I was like, that's a great idea. Like, how do I just get my PC over there instead of trying to do the inverse? Instead of trying to make my desk more gamer friendly, how do I get the PC over there so I can do more of that? So I started looking into it, and there's all kinds of, you could buy a PC, like a mini PC, right? I could get like an enclosure for my Ally and like plug that in. They actually make HDMI transmitters. They're like $300 and they wirelessly beam a signal back and forth. And there's something like, you can watch YouTubers, they're pretty decent. And then to make a long story short, I found this YouTube video from a guy that does audio visual stuff at a big mega church. And he informs me of what is called an optical HDMI cable. And I bought 100 foot of it on Amazon for $30.
Oh my God.
And I have a raised ceiling, and I ran this optical HDMI cable up and through the ceiling and over to where my TV is and down and plugged into my TV. And now with the flip of a switch, I can turn on my PC and I can play my games sitting in my chair in front of my TV.
When did you do this?
Like 2 or 3 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anytime I want to, and it's not just my PC because it's here on my desk. I know you don't know my desk that well. My PS5 sits right next to my desk on my desk here too, so I can pull the HDMI cord and plug in the PS5 and play the PS5 over there too if I want.
That's good.
So I can play here, I can play there. It's
that's like
honestly,
the ideal setup. That's very good.
It was very easy to do. It was very cheap to do. Now I will warn anybody because I'm dumb and I made this mistake. Learn from me. I learned the hard way that the optical HDMI cable is one way.
Oh.
So it does matter which end you plug into where. So I ran the whole cable and everything, and it didn't work. Only to then realize I had to turn it around.
Oh my God, that's unfortunate.
But it does work. And it is very convenient because sometimes I do want to play at my desk. Like I'm just in the mood to sit here, but then, maybe the back is hurting or maybe I want to lean back and like I want to be in the recliner. I can literally just flip the switch and walk over there and keep doing whatever it is I'm doing over here.
That's great.
It's even worked for work. One day, like my back was hurting and I just worked from over. I picked up a wireless keyboard. I flipped it over. I went and sat in my recliner and kicked back and was doing my work on the TV screen.
Very good. That is very good.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a setup like that someday.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
And not that expensive. Like, you don't have to buy a whole PC for the TV. Don't have to do all that. And here's the crazy thing. And talking to Sean and Dev about it, now I'm in a position where if Xbox is like, our new console is a PC for your TV, it's like, I kind of don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
you have that. You have a PC attached to your TV.
Yeah. It's like, that already is a thing. I'll show it. Well, never mind.
Take a picture and post it on Discord.
Well, so like do you know that next to me I've got like the skateboards on the wall that I had signed?
Yeah.
So I just ran the cable up behind those, and I've got the little things that like the little cable holders up the wall.
Yeah.
Like, you honestly you couldn't even, nobody could tell.
You wouldn't know. Yeah.
You
That's
wouldn't
cool.
know.
It's very good. You've mastered the setup. Okay, our last question comes from Kyle the Pug. And I'll say for Delvin, F you, Kyle the Pug. In spirit, he would want me to say it.
Fuck you, Kyle the Pug.
I don't know how to answer Kyle the Pug's questions half the time. He wants to know which Nintendo character is more likely to like or dislike candy corn. Do any characters canonically like candy corn? Maybe some Animal Crossing characters?
He takes the cake with his questions.
Like, I don't know how to do it, how to answer it. I like candy corn. There's
I'm trying to think more globally.
Corn.
Is there a character that doesn't like candy?
I don't know. Samus probably doesn't like candy. She's got to like eat healthy to keep up her strength.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. You know what? I'm not even going to try to justify it. I'm just going to pick them randomly. These are just my characters that I think like and don't like candy corn. I'm going to say Wario likes candy corn.
Wario likes candy corn. Yoshi likes candy corn.
Yeah, Yoshi likes candy corn. I'm going to say Rosalina likes candy corn.
Peach likes candy corn, but Daisy doesn't.
Yeah, for sure. Kirby loves candy corn.
Yeah.
Dude's all about it. 100%. Yeah. Donkey Kong hates candy corn. That's like his thing. He got tricked and he hates it.
He hates it.
What the hell is this? That's the thing. Yeah, Donkey Kong hates candy corn.
Okay. What about Mario? Does Mario like candy corn?
I think Mario corn is like 98% of the rest of us. He's like more or less indifferent. Like, he doesn't want it, but he'll eat it if it's there. You know, but like this 2% Twitter debate on whether or not candy corn is good or not, Mario's like not a part of it. He's like, I don't know. It's candy corn. It's okay.
I think Luigi likes it.
It's mid. Yeah, Luigi likes it more than Mario.
Yeah.
For sure. Mario's just kind of indifferent. He's like, I don't know. You ain't got anything else?
Link does
better?
Link and Zelda don't like candy corn.
No, they eat better things. Again, it's like Mario. They're a part of the finer things club. They're like, you ain't got like a Snickers or an M&M's or Sour Patch.
I don't think there's any artificial flavors in Hyrule. they wouldn't know what to do with it. They
should add that to the cooking system.
It's like showing candy corn to a Victorian child.
Jedi says, or Hyrule Nate says, Link eats anything.
Yeah, but it's natural. Like, I feel like there's no... They don't know what it is. They've never seen candy corn. It's too sweet. Yeah,
there's no Halloween Zelda crossover.
But I will say the Animal Crossing villagers do like candy corn.
Candy corn is dubious food. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, Animal Crossing, that's pretty strong. Yeah. Except for the fitness crew.
Yeah.
None of the fitness villagers. They're not doing that.
You're right. The jocks.
That's why you're tubby.
Yeah.
Fat boy.
The lazy villagers do.
That's more my style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll eat it. It's fine.
All right. I think that's it for this week.
Pancho.
Go play Banjo Tooie. Don't rub the secret playtest in my face.
Do it. Everybody tweet screenshots, the whole thing.
Oh yeah, we'll find out as soon as it is.
We'll miss you. Pour one out for Delvin.
Yeah.
Gone forever.
No, don't tell people that. Delvin is not gone forever.
Get in with the joke, Rebecca.
No, I refuse.
You should have been like, tragic thing that happened.
No. I'm not part of that.
He told us to exploit his death for our personal gain.
All right. I have, for anyone interested, I got a code for Backyard Baseball 97. Ooh. and it works with crowd control. So I'm doing a charity stream in about an hour or so at 2:00 with crowd control, backyard baseball. So I'm very excited. Come by my stream, make me try to hit some wacky pitches, I guess. I got to see what the crowd control is for this game. I'm excited.
Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I booted up and it's exactly like I've played the 2002 version, but it is exactly how I remember it.
I wish listed them all, but I don't know how excited I am to play them.
This one does not have the pros. The first game didn't have the pros. They added the pros in later editions, which are the ones that I had. But like minus the pros, it is exactly how I remember the game.
Yeah, I mean that's when all the things I read, it was like it literally is just.
It works very well.
Like the ROM, and I was like, I was really excited for like a new one. I thought they were going to do something new.
They have new ones on mobile, and they suck, Donnie. They're horrible.
Never mind. Maybe just get the old one then.
Get the old ones and enjoy the nostalgia.
All right.
But yeah, so come hang out later if you are interested in that. Otherwise, that is going to do it for this week, Koopalings. Anything else, Donnie?
Peace. I'm good.
All right. Have a good week, guys.
See ya. Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?